Hey yo, welcome back to a shared meal. Hope everyone had a good weekend. If you got an extended weekend for the king, shout out to you. Enjoy that day. Today's episode, part one of 5 ways to maintain a healthy relationship. Let's eat. Number one, flirt and grab her ass. When you're in the beginning stages of a relationship, there's mad flirting, laughing, roasting, a shared enjoyment of company. It shouldn't stop after the first 3 months. This is an ongoing requirement to maintain a healthy relationship, especially from the woman's perspective. Fellas, you gotta understand, a lot of women, they get bored easily. So flirting and letting them know that you still like them is paramount. Make fun of her a little bit, tease her. I talked about this in my roasting video. Grab her ass, kiss her passionately, and make her feel sexy and wanted without pedestalizing her. I swear there's nothing more annoying than a woman whose self-esteem is over-exaggerated. Behave as if you still relish each other's company and attraction. I mean, that's what got you through the door in the first place, right? In my experience, what's worked for me and has been successful is suggesting a sexy outfit to wear either around the house or, if you decide to go out. Allow her to get sexy for you and still maintain a level of confidence, fellas. But ladies, this also means there's some form of tutelage. We're not about to have you running around 24/7 like a 304. We don't do that over here. It kind of takes away from the intention and it becomes less sexy after a while. Ladies, make your man feel like he's the only one, right? We know dudes try to get at you. We aren't stupid. But the point is to give him your undivided attention. Small touches entice us in the many forms we enjoy, depending on the man, of course. Flirting is a behavior that should be embraced in a relationship. You shouldn't stop flirting with your partner after a while. If you stop grabbing her ass and give her attention, someone else is going to do it. And ladies, if you're a headache, your company will not be tolerated and you will be dismissed. Listen, if you want something, you're going to have to speak up. This guessing game where we're supposed to read minds and know about the little things is played out. Communication needs to be a parallel between the both of you, and the reception needs to be heard and not felt. A lot of times, if something is being communicated, it's not received very well, especially if the person isn't listening and has their emotions at the forefront. This needs to be eliminated because what's happening is whatever is being said is kind of being disregarded for emotion, and now it's kind of lost in translation. Hear what the person is actually saying, take your feelings out of it, and make the adjustment. Obviously, this person has a concern, and it may be an attempt to fix something that's bothering them. And it probably isn't even bad. Like a lot of times when you communicate with your partner, it most likely isn't bad. Perhaps it's a suggestion that benefits both of you. For example, hey, listen, can you leave the toilet seat down so we don't have fomites all over the place? Or can you unload the dishwasher when you get off work so I can start dinner for us when I get home? Like little things like that shouldn't be met with contempt. It's a small request. But in the event that you do come to a disagreement, this is where compromise needs to be discussed, especially if it's a huge ask. Compromise can be tough in relationships, but you can make it easier if you properly articulate to one another and kind of find a medium. I know I've been in relationships where I would communicate having a few freebies a year, right? Sometimes it's met with hell no, and other times it's met with, okay, well, what does this look like for us? And then you kind of just begin to discuss. A lot of women aren't going to tolerate you sleeping with other women, right? And that's fair, totally understandable. But if you communicate why you want to do it and you're safe and you don't break any boundaries that may have been previously discussed, she may be willing to compromise. In the event that she doesn't, there's probably going to be a lot of friction, some bitterness that follows, right? But if this person is uncompromising and inflexible, after a detailed discussion, then maybe they aren't the person for you. And I would suggest removing yourself. Okay, so this should go without saying, but take care of yourselves. By default, you should be doing this anyway. I mean, isn't this part of the reason why your partner got with you to begin with? You were attractive. You smelled good. You hit the gym every so often. Maybe you saw a therapist once a week, found new hobbies, etc. Like you did all of this before you found your guy or your girl, but after some months you fall off. Doesn't make much sense to me. And much like flirting, taking care of yourself after you've entered a relationship is an ongoing requirement to continuously attract your partner. I mean, imagine being your best all summer. Imagine looking your best all summer, right? You meet this young lady, y'all hit it off, y'all going on dates, enjoying each other's company, all of that good stuff. And September comes around, you stop going to the gym weekly. You don't see your therapist as much. You stop meditating, you start eating sloppy, you're only wearing sweatpants and hoodies, and you've obviously gained some weight, right? And by December, you built like a Snorlax. Come on, dog. Now she's repulsed by your appearance. You aren't taking care of yourself. You're soft, you're weak, you look sloppy. And a lot of these dudes who are taking care of themselves year round all of a sudden become a little more enticing to your girl's eyes. Also, ladies, you can catch some heat too. This goes the same for you as well. Maybe you don't hit the gym hardcore 4 or 5 days a week like your man does, but you need to be at least fit in some capacity. Maybe 2 or 3 days a week you go and do some yoga, cardio, jump rope, whatever it is. Take care of your physical health as well as your mental health, the way you did before you met your guy. You gotta uphold this attraction. We're not about to neglect all of our duties just because it got a little cold outside. Stay attractive in all regards to help maintain attraction to your person. Alright, so this is one that gets overlooked sometimes, but y'all need to go on dates. I talked about this in the providing an experience in the sex before sex episode. The same applies here. After you've been together for a long period of time, things can become a little lackluster, and a way to entice one another is to go on dates. Share a consistent experience with each other outside of your routine. Do something that both of you haven't done and share your thoughts and opinions about whatever you just did. Maybe you took a cooking class, or you went on a hike, or you made a list of restaurants you want to check off. Whatever it is, do it together so that way it's a moment shared. I would even argue this brings out a new experience within each other, right? Maybe you didn't know she was competitive. Y'all go to Dave & Buster's and you discover she's a badass and shooting some hoops. Or maybe y'all go to a little paint and sip joint and you discover your man is a natural Bob Ross. Whatever it is, these are enjoyable activities that should bring you together rather than split you apart. Speaking of, it's great to spend time with this person for sure, but it's also extremely important not to spend too much time together. Allow yourself to miss this person, their energy, personality, and when you reconvene, there's a new sense of excitement after some time apart. Now, this does a few things. For one, it introduces a new appreciation for your partner. You start to miss their company, their laugh, and some of the small quirks that you enjoyed before. Time away from a loved one can give you the space that you need to realize the value of this relationship. Another benefit is it provides elimination of neediness. Too much time together can develop a codependency. And let me tell you something, this is not something you want to experience. It's extremely unhealthy, and I would argue I'm an advocate against it. Alone time allows you to embrace your self-sufficiency, and I would argue makes you a little more attractive. And lastly, it reduces stress. I mean, think about this. You've been around your partner 24/7, right? Inseparable. And maybe they do some things that kind of irk you. Little things, but it's not enough of an annoyance for a deal breaker. Some of these small breaks from being around one another is an excellent way to kind of recollect yourself and minimize the stress. Relationships are a hell of a lot of hard work, right? A little time off is definitely warranted to return to a healthy relationship. All right, y'all, that's a wrap. Comment down below with your shared experience with maintaining a relationship. What do you do differently? What do you suggest? Like the video, subscribe for a brother, and I'll catch y'all for the next episode with a part 2 coming soon. Peace out.